when you talk of environment, the environmental implications of flooding. One, before we analyze environmental implication, we need to know what are the components of the environment. Environment comprises the biophysical, the plants, the animal, the soil, the water we drink, including the groundwater. Those are all biophysical. We have the social environment. The human beings that live, their style of living, their health, their welfare, are social. They will have the health component of the environment. The state of health, absence of disease for the people that live there. When you say environmental implications of flooding, number one, let's look at the social. People are displaced. They abandon their houses. This is not because I have a friend who said he left his house because of armed robbery. They visited him about 2 or 3 times consecutively, and the guy has to abandon his house. And he relocated. But here, flooding has caused people to pack, leave their house. And one thing that follows flooding is erosion. There are 2 twin brothers or sisters we can't separate. When you have flooding, heavy torrents of flood, we have seen cases where flood carry vehicle. The last one that happened was a man was driving and he came across the one that used to happen in the Upper Mission area. The flood carried the vehicle. We thought he could navigate. The flood carried the vehicle. And before you know it, turn it over. They lost the man. We're talking of implication of flooding. People have to desert their houses, relocate. Sometimes if you quantify what happened to houses that are deserted, imagine your furniture, imagine all the electrical equipment, everything you have, the whole house is submerged. You have to save your head first. Some have to just swim. Some constructed this makeshift bridge to be able to move from their house. It's traumatic. What happened to people? Economic loss, trauma, the health. When you have flooding, all the debris, all the contaminants on the surface of water, they are all washed to the stream. And this contaminates the water body. Health aspects. And we have had a serious case of epidemics due to flooding. When water overstays in a particular place, there's a lot of contamination. Then when you come to the biophysical aspect, a soil that is inundated, a soil that is waterlogged for a long period cannot be productive. Farmlands are destroyed. I told somebody we should undertake a post-impact assessment of flooded areas. Let's look at the soil nutrient level. Let's look at the consistency of the soil to see how much it differs from an area that is not flooded. You know, crops cannot grow well there. When we talk of farming, then before you know it, federal government, state government, they're not looking, buying bags of rice to supply. The economic loss is not only to the individual, it's to the state, it's to the government. Disease outbreak, that's health-wise. Poor soil fertility, rendering entire farmland unproductive. Loss of lives, mortality. People died during flood. Said a young man was trying to cross. He thought it was the flood was just to walk over, and the person was carried. He died. So many people die as a result of flooding. So we have economic loss, loss of life, of productivity, of soil, farmlands, then disease outbreak. How much can we quantify? There is no disaster, really, that surpasses flooding at the global level, apart from heavy disease epidemics. Flooding, I told you, rank next in terms of total percentage.
Everybody, I'm in College of Medical Sciences, their hostel right now, University of Benin, and today is their XCG election. Please, may I meet you, sir?
Okay, I'm Utu calling.
You came to vote?
Yes, I think to vote for my candidate.
Okay, hope your candidate is winning.
Yeah, it's election, but to us, because this is where my department is currently voting, so yeah, I think it's putting me vote here.
Okay, wonderful. Sorry, I have a question for you this afternoon, please. What do you understand by the word flooding?
Okay, flooding is simply the covering of the water, of the surface of the earth with water from rain, especially rain. When rain spreads, it's gathered, it moves water and it causes flooding and may destroy some environment, may cause some discomfort in the society.
What are the causes of flooding?
Causes of flooding, first of all, we have a rainy season and dry season. So flooding normally happens in rainy season. So one of the major causes of flooding is when there is no proper drainage system in the society, in the community. Like for example, Uniben here, which flooding has never occurred before because we have a proper drainage system. And when the those beans are being kept well, when you don't have when you cut down your trees, you plant them and keep them well. When the environment is very, very fine, it's very okay, flooding will not really take place. So one of the major causes of flooding is when you don't have drainage system, a good proper drainage system. That's what leads to flooding.
What are the negative impacts of flooding?
Very correct. Negative impact of flooding, as we all know, what is destruction of plants, plants and plant and the environment, and it leads to diseases like cholera, because cholera is a waterborne disease, so it can cause disease and cause sickness in the society. But most importantly, it leads to destruction of the plant.
Okay. Sir, you've enumerated what causes flooding and the negative impacts on the environment as it may. So what are the ways by which you can prevent flooding right now?
Okay, good. Flooding itself, for we to prevent flooding, it's a federal thing, it's a national thing. When you have a good and proper drainage system that network the society, like when you put your drainage system and it leads to another one, and then to the final, it moves also the river. When you have a proper drainage system and when the people are in the environment are aware that dirtiness leads to flooding, and you make sure you put them and they know how to keep themselves clean, then flooding can be.
It's been a wonderful time talking with you. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. I'm Abraham Obege. I'm a proud graduate of Great University of Benin. I'm fresh to be here with you.
So, can you tell me what you understand by flooding?
Flooding is a terminology used for an expanse erosion. In our own concept, people prefer to define flooding as erosion. Flooding is a situation whereby human activities cannot really contain the amount of rainfall in a particular area, whereby certain infrastructure are not available to contain the amount of rainfall and erosion. It thereby leads to flooding.
And what are the causes of flooding, by the way?
The first and primary causes of flooding is man-made, artificial. Although we know that they are natural-made, rainfall, deforestation. But when we say deforestation, that also refers to man-made, artificial, whereby our human activities brings on a big deal on the impact of flooding our environment. Our drainages are blocked, the government infrastructures are not being well taken care of, and as a result, from little degradation, it now leads to a bigger problem will not cause.
So how can we prevent flooding now? So if you are to advise the people out there, also advise the government, how can we prevent flooding?
That's a very vital question. First of all, we ought to know that we are humans, and our human activities on Earth will cause adverse effects. Our environment needs to be taken care of. Trees need to be planted. our drainages needs to be created with bigger coverage, big, wider coverage and deeper and bigger depth. So for us to really cover, we must start by planning. Who are the personnel, trained personnel to start? We must do an
Yes, my name is Mario.
appropriate research to know the make cause. First, one of the make cause is that we humans need to maintain our environment by taking care of our immediate environment.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Ike Rufet. I'm the student of, I'm a student of the Department of Animal and Environmental Biology, University of Benin.
So, what do you understand by the word flooding?
Okay, basically, flooding is simply an uncontrolled flow of water in the environment. Yeah, it could be either by natural cause or by artificial cause.
So, what are the causes of flooding, if I may ask?
Okay, coming from the artificial reason now, or the cause of flooding, artificial cause of flooding, it could be due to bad drainage system. It could be due to improper disposal of waste. And why for the natural one, it could be due to excess rainfall. It could be due to overflow of rivers or water bodies due to release of or open of dams and the rest. So there are so many factors that could cause.
Okay, sir, you've listed the ways or causes of flooding right now. Can you tell us how we can prevent flooding?
Okay, one very effective one I can suggest is proper drainage system. If you have proper drainage system, even if there is heavy downpour and water being channeled, can go to water bodies and thereby prevent us the mess of flooding.
Yes, sir. It's been a wonderful time talking with you, Mr. Rupert. Have a lovely day. President, you guys are doing election in University of Benin, SG election. I guess your candidate is winning.
Hopefully.
So I just have something to ask you this afternoon. What do you understand by the word flooding?
Flooding is like when water exceeds its bank and floods human inhabited areas. Like maybe water from rivers, dams, lakes, and the rest. Due to maybe heavy downpour.